Everybody has their job, 9 to 5, and getting drained. They settle for second best, scared to risk what the future might bring. What the future might bring. I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door, telling me there is more waiting for me. Whoa. If I love you harder than I've ever done before, oh, maybe I belong somewhere above the water. My lungs are tired, I'm running for a long time. My feet got blisters, but maybe I belong if I love a little harder.
As I strapped my helmet on and climbed onto the scooter, Mom handed me some paper bags.
I'm sorry we can't afford to pay someone for delivery, sweetie. Bear with me for a few more days.
Don't worry about it, Mom. I got this.
But I want you to focus on school.
And I can do both.
Fine. But always remember, stay in the side lane and
Pause at every crossing to watch cars coming from all directions. Mom, trust me to know all this. I'm off now. Bye! As I zoomed through my hometown and reached the city center, I slowed down and stopped in front of a clothes shop. I'd been eyeing the red dress in the window display for ages, and I was so relieved to see it was still there. You wait for me, okay? I'm saving up for you. You're gonna look so good on Mom. Then I was on my way again, following the directions on the GPS to a huge mansion. I parked in the driveway and rang the bell, and to my shock, the door was opened by Dana, the bane of my life. I'd gotten the female lead in the school play instead of her last year, and she seemed to be holding on to a huge grudge ever since. Hi, you ordered chicken? Dana casually reached out to take the bags from me, and then tossed them aside.
So, the rumor is true. You're just a poor delivery girl running around town with greasy chicken. No wonder you always wear clothes that seem to be straight out of the trash. They smell like that too.
That'll be $20.
Here's $500. Keep the change. I know you badly need it.
I took the dollar bills, pulled out a 20, and put the rest on the floor. Not badly enough to accept it from you. And yeah, you shouldn't eat fried chicken. Maybe order a salad from someplace. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye! I turned around and hopped onto my scooter before she could reply.
I stood behind a pillar in the lobby of Dad's company Biotech, which was currently filled with journalists and photographers. My half-brother Ace stood confidently behind the podium on the makeshift stage, then signaled to one of the journalists to ask his question.
How does it feel to know that you'll be the country's youngest CEO at 18, 3 months from now?
It feels great. I know it's a huge responsibility, but I'm certainly up for the challenge. Next.
The company seems to be in some trouble. We haven't seen any groundbreaking product in a long time. Can you keep up with your competitors?
Yes, of course. We're always working on new ideas, and I believe in my team's ability to come up with something that will keep us on top. Thank you all for coming today. Please, help yourselves to the buffet.
As the journalists dispersed, Ace wasn't smiling as widely anymore. He walked over to Dad, and I made sure to stay out of sight as I listened to them talking.
I'm impressed with how you handled those questions, son. But we both know that we need something really innovative this time, and soon.
Don't worry, Dad. I got this.
Of course, I trust you. But we need some breakthrough research, and that's not your area of expertise. It's your brother's.
Ace just rolled his eyes at that.
I can always find a way. You know that. I just need a little more time, Dad.
Dad nodded and patted him on the back, and I slipped away. My half-brother was an arrogant jerk who always wanted me to stay in the shadows so he could be the face of Dad's company. Well, he might have the looks and charisma, but I had the brains, and I'd been working on something very promising that I hoped I could share with Dad soon.
I was at my desk trying to focus on what I was typing, but that was not happening with my BFF Clover yapping away and eating chips loudly.
Dina is such a witch. She thinks she can get away with anything because she's the principal's daughter. She looks like an evil frog. I'll give Frog-Faced Witch a piece of my mind in school tomorrow.
No, don't do that, Clover. She's not worth our time. Just forget about her.
Fine, if you insist. So, how's your story going? You're gonna get paid for it, right?
Yeah, it's just enough to help Mom with the bills this month. I have to submit it in 2 days, though, and I'm panicking because I'm having writer's block. But I noticed Clover wasn't even listening to me anymore and was busy leaning out the window.
Oh my, you better get your butt here this minute, sister. Guess who's back?
OMG, Ace? For real? Clover and I were practically drooling over the view next door. There was Ace, my gorgeous neighbor, stepping out of the pool with water rippling down his perfect abs. Gosh, he looked amazing.
What a wet snack.
He's just the perfect hero for love stories. Handsome, smart, and so charming.
You're lucky you live next door to him. I'm so jealous.
But just then, his brother Dominic walked out to the poolside and blocked Ace from our view.
Ugh, Dominic is ruining the show. Why are you friends with the wrong half-brother again? You should have befriended the hot one.
Come on, Dom is nice. He'll have to accept at some point that he's also one of my best friends.
Yeah, a friend who's in love with you.
What? Ew, no. Dom is like a brother to me. Well, not a brother exactly, but we're just friends. We don't see each other that way.
Okay, if you say so. I guess you've never paid attention to how he says your name.
There's only one way to say my name.
No, he goes like, Sadie, like he's stretching it out in a sexy kind of way.
Where do you come up with this trash?
Look, only one of us can have Ace anyway, so you should take the dork.
Just then, I noticed Dominic turning his head to look directly at me and Clover. A smirk crept up on his face as he said something to Ace. Oh my god, what is he doing? Is he telling Ace we've been spying on him? Just then, Ace looked up at us and laughed, and Clover and I dropped to the floor in panic.
That jerk exposed us. I told you, you're friends with the wrong brother.
Ugh, that dimwit.
I was brimming with excitement as I worked in Dad's lab, feeling confident that this time my experiment would work. But seconds later, I was interrupted when the door flung open and Ace walked in like he owned the place.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here.
I think you missed the do not disturb sign. What are you doing here anyway? Don't you have some party to go to?
Well, as the older and better brother who has chosen to lead this company my dad one day, I thought I should come by and oversee things now and then.
I decided to ignore him as I continued working, but he walked closer to me and leaned on the counter.
If I were you, I'd spend less time in the lab and just focus on school, bro. I don't think your ideas are working out, and I may have to hire more capable scientists soon.
I'm not giving up yet. I think I'm close to something good.
Well, I'm not holding my breath.
And with that, he turned and left, leaving the door open. I walked behind him and slammed it shut. I hoped my idea would work, just so I could rub Ace's smug, stupid face in it.
I was determined to finish my story tonight no matter what. It was nice and quiet, I had my lucky socks on, and I just ordered my favorite banana pizza. Just as I was about to bite into a slice, my cat jumped up and snatched it from me. Hey, give that back, you greedy creature! Your cat food's in the bowl. This is mine! I chased Meowly Cyrus around the room, knocking over a bunch of things. It's the last piece, and I haven't eaten all day! I finally jumped forward and caught him. Gotcha! Just as I was about to snatch my slice from him, a roll of toilet paper came flying through the window and hit me on the forehead. I looked up annoyed to see Dominic climbing into the window ledge.
Let the poor cat eat in peace.
Stop acting like Meowly Cyrus's dad. Fine, Meowly. Here, have it. Are you happy now?
It's just a freaking pizza. A disgusting banana one, actually.
It's the meaning of my life, and you know it! Also, I'm still mad at you for yesterday. Why did you embarrass me and Clover in front of Ace? He must be thinking we're so lame!
He's not thinking about you. You're just one of his 1,000 fangirls.
Then he just flopped down on my bed, took out his own laptop from under it, and started working on something. I really hope you're doing some homework. You're always focused on your scientific research, and you'll fail high school at this rate.
This research is more important. I really need to prove my worth.
You know your dad loves you and Ace the same, right?
Sometimes, I really don't think he does. And Ace definitely thinks he's better than me because his mom is rich and mine's poor. I know he's smart, but I really believe I can run Dad's company better. So I just gotta show him that. Sadie dropped down on the bed beside me and stared up at the ceiling, looking deep in thought. How's your romance story going?
I still need a few more scenes, but my mind isn't cooperating and I don't know why. He's just being difficult. And yes, it's a he. I've assigned a pronoun to each body part.
It's a surprise for someone as feminist as you to call the mind a he.
Well, he's annoying and stubborn and also gives me really stupid ideas at times. So yeah, it's a he.
Sadie sighed, then pulled out her hair tie and shook her hair out. And I felt kinda stunned. At that moment, she looked prettier than ever. Maybe you need to finally date someone. Experience is the best inspiration, you know.
Why would I date someone when we'll eventually break up? Nothing lasts forever, Dommy boy, so no thanks.
Wow, I didn't expect that coming from a romance writer.
The perfect love stories only exist on paper. Trust me.
Okay, Miss Cynical. What if you fake dated then? You know, role-playing can help visualize scenarios better.
That's an idea, but who would agree to fake date me?
I'm a very busy guy, but I could take out some time to help a friend in need.
What? I wouldn't be able to take you seriously for a second. That would never work.
And what prize would I get if I prove you wrong? Sadie smacked me with a pillow.
This and this too.
We both laughed as we broke up into a pillow fight.
The next day at school when the last bell rang, I was in a hurry to leave because I had to make Mom's deliveries. As I was rushing down the corridor, I suddenly went crashing straight into someone and dropped all my books. I looked up to see that it was freaking Dana. Oops, sorry, didn't see ya. As I quickly picked up my stuff, Dana's minion suddenly grabbed my arms.
Not so fast, honey.
And then Dana snatched my bag and took out my laptop.
Ooh, nice lappy. Where did you steal this from?
What? It's mine. Don't touch it. I tried moving towards Dana, but her minion was holding me back in a tight grip.
We've always wondered how a trashy peasant like you got accepted into this elite school.
There's a thing called a scholarship? I guess only smart kids know about it.
Look at that attitude. You don't belong here, delivery girl.
And with that, Dana threw the laptop on the floor so hard, it was instantly wrecked. No! Dana's minion let me go, and I kneeled down next to my poor laptop in despair. No, I don't have a backup for my story. Just then, I noticed a small crowd had gathered, which suddenly fell quiet and made way for someone to walk through. It was Margot, the most popular girl in school, who was sheer perfection from head to toe. But right now, her lovely face looked grim.
What's happening here?
Dana and her minion looked at each other in alarm.
Margot, we didn't do anything. She bumped into us on purpose.
We were just teaching her a lesson, I swear. She deserved it. She was really rude to me the other day.
Margot turned to Dana and gently pushed her against the wall.
Touch her again, and I'll make sure you'll regret it. Do you understand?
The two girls nodded their heads quickly and then fled the scene. Margot picked up my bag and handed it to me.
I'm sorry about what they did. I'll replace your laptop.
I tried to hold back my tears as I shook my head. You don't have to do that. It's not your fault.
I kind of feel like it is. They're my friends.
It's really not, and you're not them.
Okay, but if you change your mind, let me know.
I mustered a small smile and nodded, then watched Margot walk away. Rich, popular, pretty, and kind. I wish I could be like you. Later that night, I was sitting on my bed, mindlessly scrolling through my phone when the doorbell rang downstairs. And to my surprise, it was a butler from Dominic's house with a package for me. I raced up to my room, ripping into the package like a ninja on a mission. Inside was the sleekest laptop I'd ever seen, shining like a knight's armor. Heard what happened in school today. I'm gonna be stuck in the lab till really late tonight, so I couldn't come see you. But you better not miss the deadline for that story. P.S. Don't drool on the keyboard, Dom. Oh my god, I could kiss you right now, Dom. I had to start the story from scratch, but I was suddenly pumped. I typed furiously the whole night and was finally done at dawn. At some point, I must have dozed off on my desk because I suddenly opened my eyes to find someone's face really close to me, and I jumped back with a shriek, falling off my chair. Dom, you scared the living daylights out of me.
I'm sorry. I was just checking to see if you were breathing. You're a very quiet sleeper. Have you submitted your story?
No, I need to do a final proofreading.
Why don't I do it for you?
I felt relieved as Dom took over my laptop, but then he made a funny face.
Princess Walk Walk. That's your pen name?
Yeah, it's cute, right? A chicken sound, like this. Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, it's great. Got a nice ring to it. I'm sure Princess Walk Walk will be a very famous writer one day.
I stared sleepily at Dom's face as he read my story, and I couldn't help thinking that he looked really cute with his mussed-up hair.
Done! I think it's really good, Sadie. Send it.
I triumphantly sent the email and felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Wait, are you just coming back from the lab?
Yep, just thought I'd check on you before heading home, which I should do now. I could use a shower.
As he was leaving out the window, I placed a hand on his arm. Thank you again for everything. You're the best. Dom looked back at me with a serious expression that I couldn't read.
You're welcome. Actually, Sadie, before I go, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. I think I'm just gonna say it now.
Oh my god, was he gonna tell me he liked me?
So, what's the emergency?
Okay, so, yesterday I was having trouble with my ideas for my romantic story, and Dominic suggested that he and I could fake date for inspiration. Of course, I didn't take that seriously, but then he sent me a brand new laptop last evening so I could finish my story. I mean, that was just him being a good friend. But then he popped by this morning to check up on me and said he wanted to tell me something, and he looked really serious. And then he just told me something about their company problems. But Clover, I think you might be right, and he wanted to tell me that he likes me. No, wait, what if he's obsessed with me? I can't lose him as a friend, Clover.
Wow. So this is the emergency you're talking about? And I already told you he likes you. So now you want to confirm it?
Yes, and you will help me. Clover immediately dug into her bag and took out a book titled How to Tell If a Guy Likes You. Here are 18 signs. You just have that lying around in your bag?
Yes, for moments just like this. Also, I have a book called How to Dump a Guy Nicely. Here are 18 ways, but it's too soon for that. Now, let's see what signs we've got here. Okay. A man's feet point out what he wants. So if his feet are pointed at you when you two are talking, he's into you. Check.
Where else would his feet be pointed? He can't stand like a penguin.
He remembers small details about you. Check. He's always there when you need him. Check.
We've known each other for so long. Of course most of those would apply.
Yes, but some things need further observation. Like, does he look for your reaction first when he makes a comment or joke in a group? And is he using alpha body language around you?
Alpha body? What does that even mean?
That means we need to test a theory. You'll have to engage Dominic in conversation and observe his reactions and body language. Then you tell me your observations and I'll interpret them.
Just like that?
Yep. It won't be anything difficult. You're just talking to him like usual. But you'll just pay more attention this time.
Okay, I suppose I can do that.
I was in my pajamas and taking a plate of food to my room when I spotted the maid talking to someone at our front door. And it was the last person I was expecting. Margot? What brings you here?
Oh, hi. Can I come in and explain myself?
Yeah, of course. Come in, please. The maid moved aside and let Margot in and then left. And as Margot looked at me with a half smirk, I was suddenly very aware of my stupid pajamas.
Dominic, right? I came to see your brother.
Oh, wow. So you know my name?
Of course, we're in the same class.
Yeah, I knew that. My brother's not home yet.
That's all right. I just wanted to return his wallet. He dropped it at the dance club earlier today.
You guys were there together?
No, I just found it on the floor and realized it was his because of the ID inside.
I see. Well, I'll make sure he gets this. Thanks. Suddenly, an awkward silence fell between us as my brain scrambled for words. You didn't steal anything, right?
Excuse me?
What I mean is, maybe you stole the wallet's heart. Margot just stared at me with a poker face, and I could feel myself turning red. Okay, that was stupid. Wallets don't have hearts. Sorry, I was just trying to make you laugh. I tend to be a bit awkward around pretty girls. Margot's face softened and she smiled, and I couldn't help thinking how gorgeous she was.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
I made my way over to Dominic's place, hoping to test out some of Clover's theories on him. I rang the doorbell a couple of times and nearly fell back in shock when Margot opened the door, giggling about something.
Hey, Sadie.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I just wasn't expecting to... And then I noticed Dominic behind her, grinning like he had a clothes hanger stuck in his mouth.
Oh, hi, Sadie. Did we have plans or something that I forgot about?
No, I just came to ask something.
Sure, what is it?
You know what? I'm suddenly blank. I've completely forgotten what it was. Stupid dumb me. I'll text you when I remember. Bye! Before he could reply, I just turned around and left, and seconds later, I heard the door shut behind me. Since when were Margot and Dominic hanging out together? And why was this even bothering me?
Once Margot had left, I headed over to Sadie's house to ask why she'd dropped by earlier. I jumped over the fence as usual and climbed up her window. Sadie was curled up on the bed with her back to me, seemingly asleep. I quietly tiptoed in and saw that she was actually watching an MSA video on her phone. I leaned forward and said, "Boo!" Sadie nearly fell off the bed as I laughed.
Holy freaking butthole, you scared me!
I can't believe you're still not used to this. God, you look so stupid every time.
Ha ha, very funny. Can we do this another time? I'm tired.
What a buzzkill. Did something happen? Do you want some pizza?
I told you, I'm just tired. Go away.
I was surprised and a bit disappointed. And I was about to leave when I found Meowly rubbing herself against my leg. Oh, hello there, Meowly. Do you know how to twerk? Meowly suddenly sneered and scratched my hand hard. Ow, bad kitty! Look, Sadie, she scratched me.
I've been telling you, Meowly is evil, but you always take her side.
She glared at Meowly, who was busy licking its butt now, and then rummaged through her drawers for her first aid kit.
Give me your hand.
I immediately obliged, and as she put a bandage on, I couldn't help sneaking a few glances at her face.
There you go.
Thanks. So, did Princess Walk Walk get her first ever pay?
Oh, yes, I did. I'm gonna buy something for Mom tomorrow. It's her birthday. Also, I'm throwing a little dinner party for her, and I'd love it if you and Clover could join.
Of course, we'll be there. Is that what you came to say earlier?
Oh, yeah. I thought it would be rude to invite you to a party and not invite Margot. Although, I don't even know her, but yeah, I thought I'd just tell you later. And I had no idea you two were friends.
Well, we're not. Not really. She had just come by to return Ace's wallet.
Oh, so they're like a thing.
That's what I thought. But no, he dropped his wallet in a club and she found it. Anyway, let's go find some praying mantis in the yard.
You and your obsession with that weird insect. Go to sleep, buddy.
It's just 10 at night. Come on, princess. Let's go have your favorite strawberry shake after. Sadie looked a bit thoughtful for a few seconds, then said,
Okay, I'm in. Later when we were at the diner, I was watching Dominic placing our order at the counter, and I couldn't help wondering why I was finding him extra attractive these days. Soon, he came to the table with just one milkshake in hand. Just one?
Yep, we'll share it.
Are you out of cash? You could have just told me.
No, I have enough money. I was just thinking that maybe we could push that fake dating thing if you want. To give you more ideas for your next story. Couples share food and drinks, I'm guessing.
I was slightly taken aback, but I covered it up quickly by laughing out loud. I didn't think you were serious. Doing that with you sounds super weird.
Why would it be weird? I'm just trying to help you, and we're just friends, right? Unless you're secretly in love with me or something.
Oh God, please don't say that again. It almost gave me a stroke.
Too bad it didn't happen.
I just grabbed the shake from him and sipped on it while I prepared myself to test out Clover's signs.
If a guy likes you, he should maintain eye contact most of the time.
I leaned over on the table and stared intently at Dominic, who looked weirded out.
What you doing?
Nothing. You're ugly, and I just realized that you have two eyes.
You just realized that? Did you hit your head somewhere?
Just then, a pretty waitress walked by, and Dominic was immediately distracted.
He will try to impress you most of the time.
Didn't look like Dominic was making any effort to impress me. In fact, he let out a long burp, and I felt disgusted.
He finds small ways to compliment you.
As I fixed my hair and tried to look cute, Dominic made a weird face.
Why are you pouting? You look like a dying fish.
He finds small ways to touch your arm or hand while talking.
Oh my God, you gotta look at this dog and monkey video. It's so funny.
Just then, he punched my arm hard like I was his bro or something. And it actually hurt. Can we go home now? As we drove back, I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed. It looked like he wasn't into me after all.
I was at my best friend Justin's place for our weekly video game night, and I was finding it hard to focus.
Come on, dude. Stop being a wuss and play like a man.
I'm trying. Okay, actually, no, I'm not trying. I give up. I'm just not in the mood today, sorry.
Then why did you come over to challenge me?
I just needed someone to talk to.
Since I'm your only other friend besides Sadie, I guess you want to talk to me about Sadie. What happened? Did you two fight?
No, we're fine.
Then what? You finally realized that you like her?
What? No! And why would I like her? She's like a cousin.
Yeah, okay. I believe you.
I mean it. I don't like her. Not like that. And besides, she likes my brother. He's good looking and literally good at everything.
You're smarter than him, though.
I'm more book smart, but he's smarter in business and life. Of course Sadie will like him.
You're in deep trouble, dude.
You're useless. Do you know that?
Whatever. What is it you want to tell me?
Nothing now. I'm off. Bye. I threw a pillow at his head and left.
Mom's little birthday party had gone great, and she loved the present I got her. The next morning, I used a tidbit of makeup and decided to let down my hair. As I walked into school, I could feel more eyes on me than usual. Later that day, I was supposed to meet Dominic in the library, and I wanted to see his reaction too. But he was 20 minutes late. Finally, I called him. "Where are you? We don't have all day to finish this homework. The class will start in 15 minutes.
Sorry, I'll be late today. I'm at the lab. Can you just work on mine too? Pretty please?
No.
Come on, you can do this for your best friend who's amazing and has been busy cracking the cure for paralysis for months now.
Okay, fine.
Thanks, you're the best.
I rolled my eyes and hung up and went back to focusing on my homework. But sometime later when I lifted my head, I noticed Ace sitting at a table across the room. He looked super serious, talking to someone on the phone in a low voice while flipping through a business book. Ace? In the library? That's gotta be a first. I went back to work, and when I looked at the time, I realized I was running late for class. As I rushed out, someone reached for the doorknob at exactly the same time as me, and our hands brushed. I looked up to see it was Ace, who had a half smile on his face. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, please. After you.
I could feel myself turning red as I smiled and stepped out, and Ace followed me.
Did you see that?
What?
Ace and Sadie. They came out of the library together, and she's looking pretty decent this time. There's something fishy going on here.
It's just a coincidence. Dom has low standards to be friends with someone like her, but Ace is classy.
Yeah, but she is smart and pretty and lives right next to him. But you're right. If Ace finally dates someone, it would probably be someone like you.
Someone like me? It should definitely be me. That girl should stay away from my Ace.
Girl, you're pathetic. You went out with him once in the 7th grade, right? And now you're acting like you have 5 children together or something.
Excuse me?
No, excuse me. I mean, get out of my way. Hey, Sadie, wait for me.
Later that evening, Mom and I had gone out for groceries, but when we returned and walked into our house, we were shocked to find our living room completely trashed. Oh my God, who did this? I'm gonna call the police. I whipped out my cell phone immediately, but Mom suddenly stopped me. That's when I saw the handwritten note she was holding in her hand, which said, "You're running out of time."
No. Oh God, I know who did this.
You do? What's happening, Mom? Who's that note from? Mom looked terrified and started to cry, and I gently led her to the couch. Mom, whatever it is, please tell me. Once she was a bit calmer, she started to speak.
I took out loans from some people for business in this house a long time ago, and I've been repaying them over the years, but this year it just started to get a bit overwhelming. I've been late with some payments, and they're not happy about it.
Why didn't you go to the bank for loans?
I can't, sweetie. You know I'm an illegal immigrant.
You should have told me about this earlier. I could have looked for another job besides writing.
I didn't want to burden you with more. I'm so sorry, Sadie.
I hugged Mom tight, trying to reassure her that everything would be okay, when suddenly we heard a loud thud outside, and we both froze in alarm.
We had just sat down for dinner when Ace sniffed the air, then made an annoyed face.
Dad, can we please move to a better neighborhood?
Why? It's a nice place and our house is fancy enough.
But the smell of fried chicken is killing me.
Who hates the smell of fried chicken?
I do. It's all I can think about all day and I can't even eat it. Do you know how hard I work out?
Okay, enough with the nonsense talk, boys. I have an important announcement to make tonight.
I already knew what it was, and I could barely hide my glee.
I got a call from Dr. Henry at the lab some time ago, and he informed me that Dominic just made what could be the medical breakthrough of the decade.
Ace looked completely stunned.
Several companies are already showing interest in buying the research to produce it. Dom, you may just have solved the company's financial problems.
Dad, I want us to produce and distribute it ourselves. Trust me, it'll bring more money to the company. I've worked out the numbers.
And here I thought you don't have a business mind. Ace, your brother is giving you some tough competition for the CEO spot. Now let's raise a toast to him. To Dominic.
To Dominic.
The next day, I decided to join the gym where Ace worked out, and he clearly wasn't happy to see me. He put on boxing gloves and started hitting the punching bag, and I was certain he was imagining it was my face. I started exercising too, but just a few minutes later, I heard a girl's shrill scream, and I turned around to find Dana on the floor next to Ace, who looked very confused.
Oh my God, you hit my cheek with your elbow.
I did?
You did! It hurts so much. Oh God, my flawless cheek will be bruised till Christmas.
I controlled my laughter and walked over to Ace as Dana's loud wailing continued drawing attention.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you stop crying, please? Let me take you to the clinic downstairs.
I think it's better if you just take me to lunch. I'm sure an ice pack would help my bruise.
Bro, it's the least you could do after hitting her. Ace glared at me as he turned to Dana.
Sorry, but I don't have time for...
Oh my God, this hurts. My face.
Fine. I think lunch is a good idea. Dom, you should join us too.
Does he have to?
I'd love to. Later in the food court, I couldn't stop grinning as Dana slurped loudly on an extra-large smoothie while Ace looked bored and annoyed.
I can't believe I'm looking at the future president of biotech. Wow.
Who are you talking about?
Me, of course.
It's not set in stone, bro.
Ew, of course it's gonna be Ace. You're so cool, Ace. Your next girlfriend would be the luckiest girl on earth, babe.
She winked at him, and he just stared back at her blankly.
This is just the best second date ever.
How is this a date? And when did we have our first?
Don't you remember our 7th grade date? You know, that time we went to the amusement park and you held my hand on the merry-go-round?
And then you puked on my shoes? Holy shit. You're Vomit Girl?
Yes, that's me. And it's so cute you have a nickname for me too. I think I'm gonna cry.
OMG, you guys are just meant to be!
Dom, why are you even here?
You literally invited me.
Dana, are you feeling better now?
So much better.
Great. Now if you'll excuse me, I have important things to do.
What? But...
Ace left before she could even finish, and I burst out laughing. I paid for it immediately when Dana dunked the rest of her smoothie on my head and stormed off. But it was kind of worth it.
I was sitting with Clover in the cafe when Justin came by looking for Dominic. I told him we were waiting for him too, and he plopped his butt next to us and started playing on his phone. Clover looked annoyed at him as usual and was sipping her juice loudly when suddenly she started coughing hard. Hey, are you okay?
What a careless squid.
Did you just call me a squid?
What should I call you dressed like that? A beautiful princess from a faraway land?
Finally, you're making some sense.
I was laughing at their dumb banter when Dominic walked in, smiling from ear to ear.
Here comes the superstar. You're all over the news, dude. Fist bump.
I'm so proud of you, Dom.
I wanted to celebrate it with you last night, but Dad kept me really busy.
I guess you're the favorite son now.
You bet I am.
Okay, Dominic's here now, so tell us your news, Sadie.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to bring the mood down, but I really have to tell you guys this. So, Mom told me something. As I was speaking, Dom's phone kept ringing, and he was obviously distracted.
I'm so sorry, guys. I need to take this. It could take a while.
He got up to answer the call, and Justin picked up his bag too.
Okay then, I'm gonna head out.
Literally no one asked, and also, we don't care.
Justin picked up her sandwich from her food tray, made a peace sign, and left.
Ugh, he's so annoying. Why is Dom even friends with him? Speaking of which, it looks like Dommy Boy is booked and busy now.
Of course he is, and I'm happy for him.
I hope he doesn't forget all about us soon. So, what were you saying about your mom again?
Yeah, about that. Some really shady people are after us. They broke into our house and destroyed the living room and threw some big rocks at our door.
What? That's terrifying. Did you call the police?
No, we can't do that. It's a long story.
Dad had booked a private hall in a hotel for the night's event, and the place was bustling with people in expensive suits and gowns. As Dad stepped onto the small stage, the chatter and the music died down as all eyes turned to him.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. Tonight is a very special night because we are celebrating a milestone in my younger son's career as a scientist. His amazing new product will be available on the market in 3 weeks' time.
He beamed at me proudly as the audience applauded. Dad raised his glass, and everyone followed him.
I present to you with great pride the brains behind our company's latest contribution to the medical field, Dominic!
As everyone joined Dad's toast, my gaze shifted to Ace. I could tell how forced his smile was, and I'd never felt more satisfied. After socializing with a bunch of people, I slipped away for a bit to get a break. I just sat down at the bar when Dad approached me, along with a sophisticated-looking couple.
Dominic, there you are! I would like you to meet Mr. Hansen, the CEO of one of the biggest mobile companies in the country. And this is his wife, Senator Hansen.
As I thanked them for coming, suddenly, someone else joined us.
I'm sorry, I got caught up in the restroom.
Margot?
Dominic! Hey! Congratulations!
So, you know each other?
Yes, sir. We are...
Friends. We're in the same class. And, yeah, we're close friends. Right, Dom?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, how lovely. How come you two never mentioned you were friends, Marco?
You never asked.
I'm very pleased you two are well acquainted. We'll leave you two in each other's company then while we talk business.
When our parents were far enough, I turned to Margot. What was all that about?
I'm so sorry for putting you on the spot. My parents are always after me for not being social enough, and I knew they'd be happy if they thought we were friends.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Would you like some fruit punch?
Sure, why not?
The bartender got us our drinks and we sipped away in awkward silence before Margot broke it.
Well, I didn't completely lie. We're in the same class.
You got a point. So that just makes you half a liar. Is that better? Margot laughed, and I felt rather pleased with myself. She finished her drink and got up to leave.
See you around, Dominic. I'll look forward to your jokes next time.
I could feel myself turn red as I smiled and watched her walk away.
I kept looking out my window impatiently, wondering when Dominic would be back. He hadn't replied to my texts, and when I called him, he didn't answer either. Just then, I looked out the window again, and to my surprise, I found Ace by the pool. If he's back from the event, shouldn't Dom be too? I decided to just go over and ask Ace. I walked through the gap in the fence that divided our houses and went to the pool area. Ace was propped up against the ledge, with his head leaning back and his eyes closed. Hi. Sorry to disturb you. I just wanted to ask where Dominic is. He hasn't been answering my calls. Ace turned around with a half smirk on his face.
He's still pretty busy with all the attention he's getting now. He's been craving this kind of validation his whole life, you know?
I was just asking if he's already home because I was getting worried. As I was speaking, Ace got out of the pool, stood in front of me, and started shaking water out of his hair.
Oh, yeah?
And then, out of nowhere, he pulled me in by the waist till our faces were inches apart. What are you doing?
You got a stray eyelash.
He flicked it away gently from my cheek. Wow, how did you see that? It's pretty dark.
Perfect vision, I guess?
Then he winked at me and let me go. I was still feeling pretty confused by the whole situation when I spotted Dom walk up to the front door of their house.
As I stormed angrily towards the door, I couldn't believe that I'd just seen Ace and Sadie kissing. Yeah, sure, I knew everyone had a crush on Ace, but I never imagined Sadie would like Ace seriously. Just as I was opening the main door, I saw Sadie running up to me.
Hey, buddy, where have you been? I called you a whole lot.
Sadie, if you don't mind, I'm exhausted right now. Let's talk tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Good night, then.
I managed to give her a weak smile before I went in and closed the door. It felt like my heart was burning.
The next day at school, I was still feeling troubled by Dom's behavior, and I started talking to Clover about it as we put away our stuff in the lockers. So, last night, I went over to Dom's place, and just then, I noticed Clover wasn't even listening and was watching something over my shoulder.
Wait, is that Dom?
I turned around, and I could hardly believe what I was seeing. Dom's shirt was unbuttoned at the top. He wasn't wearing thick glasses anymore, and his hair was slicked back with gel. Other kids in the hallway were turning around to look at him as he walked towards us.
You're Dominic the science nerd, right?
Hey, what's with the new look? We barely recognized you. But Dominic just ignored us like we were invisible. And then to my shock, he walked straight to Margot at the end of the hall. The two of them left together, laughing and chatting.
Did he just ignore us and walk up to Margot?
I just stayed quiet as I watched them, and suddenly Justin was beside me.
Is that our boy? What happened to his hair?
Beats me. We're running late for class, Clover.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll be there in 2 minutes.
I shrugged and left.
Hey, can you take your headphones off for 1 second? We need to talk.
Do we really need to?
Yes, we do. What's going on with Dominic? Did he say anything to you about Sadie or Margot?
What Dominic and I talk about stays between us. And you shouldn't be so nosy. You're already annoying enough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my video game to get to.
Hope you lose badly.
The next day, when I walked into the kitchen, I found Mom sitting at the table with her head in her hands. Mom, are you all right? Mom looked up and she was crying. Mom, what's wrong?
The people who trashed our house. Their boss called earlier and reminded me of the money I owe him. I told him I could pay a portion of it soon, but he wants the full amount. Sadie, he was the one who helped me with my immigration papers. He said if I don't pay up soon, he could easily mess up my documents and get me deported.
What? Mom, he can't do that. Can he? She just looked at me sadly, and I hugged her tight, feeling panicked. I called up Clover later and told her everything, and she immediately told me to talk to Dom. He's been so busy and, I don't know, acting weird. But this qualifies as an emergency, right?
Yeah, dude, his family's influential, and he is your friend. Listen, I gotta go, but talk to him right now and update me.
Clover hung up, and I looked over at his place. She was right. He had to be there for me now. I marched over to his mansion immediately. The maid let me in and told me Dominic was in the library. When I walked in, I spotted Dom in the armchair by the fireplace reading a book. Hey! Dominic didn't react, and I thought he hadn't heard me. I inched closer and tapped him on the shoulder. That's when he looked up at me, then slowly put his book away.
Sorry, I didn't notice you coming in. What's up?
I was about to speak, but his phone rang, and he held up his hand, asking me to wait.
Sir? Of course, yes, I'll be there. I'm on my way.
He ended the call and awkwardly rubbed his neck.
I'm sorry, but I have to go.
You don't have 5 minutes? It's kind of important.
Not right now. Maybe later?
Sure. He didn't even look at me again as he rushed out, and suddenly, my eyes welled up with tears. I was leaving the mansion when Ace caught up with me.
Hey, hold up. You look upset. Is everything okay?
Hi. Yeah, it's nothing, really.
I may not be Dom, but if you need someone to talk to, I can listen, you know?
Oh, it's just some silly stuff, Ace. I wouldn't bore you with it. And I'm sure you have more important things to do.
Try me. Come on.
Ace led me to the living room, and I decided to open up to him. Okay, I really don't know what to do anymore. I found out recently that we are neck-deep in debt. The shady people that my mom owes money to are threatening to take our house, as well as mess with my mom's immigration status because they helped her with those papers. Ace was quiet and looked thoughtful for a few seconds.
If your mom's immigration papers are processed legally, then there's nothing to worry about. I know a few people in the immigration office, and I'll ask them to do it.
You would? Why?
Sadie, I've known you just as long as Dom has. We're neighbors. We aren't close, but I consider you a friend. Trust me, this isn't a big deal.
Ace, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you so much. Soon after, I left, feeling pretty surprised by this turn of events. But I was gonna take any help I could to sort out Mom's situation.
You might be flying high right now, little bro, but I know what your biggest weakness is, and I'm gonna use it to bring you down very soon.